alive and well, I'm wide awake. Won't take your brand, I'm not your slave. You serve your God, Lord of the flies. I pity you and you me mine. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Your bloody mouth unsatisfied. God sees the trap you set for me. He'll not be mocked, I will be free. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. Your fear will not make me behave. I won't march in your masked parade. Your hollow threats won't shut me up. I won't bow down, enough's enough. You say you'll give us what we need, as if you own the air we breathe. Stand up 100 million strong. Thought we'd lie down, well you thought wrong. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep going, keep on going. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus closer than my breath. Just keep going, keep on going. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down. We'll never give in, never give up, never back down. We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep going, keep on going. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus closer than my breath. Just keep going, keep on going.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. My name is Jen. It is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. Time is flying. It was just like 2020, and now all of a sudden here we are in 2022. April, nonetheless. Spring has pretty much sprung in my area. I'm in Massachusetts. It's really warm today. It was warm. We had a nice weekend. I hope it is warm for you wherever you are in the world. Where let me know, please, where that is. I love reading across the world. Thank you, Laura. This is my California sweatshirt, representing a state I've never visited, but can't wait to go to and check out. Tonight, I have an exciting show. I feel like it's been forever since I hung out with you guys and talked to you. I need to do something about this schedule because there's too long of a break in between, and then I do it all back to back to back. I need to spread it out. I don't know. I'll take your guys' thoughts on what you all think. Maybe we'll change things up a little bit here. Tonight, I am joined by my amazing, wonderful friend, Jeremy. I'm going to bring him on to say hi to everybody. You are on.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. We haven't done this in a while.
I know! It's so fun. So, I know you're going to talk to us about what's going on and everything that is coming up in Canada, but what have you been up to since we last talked? How was your weekend?
A lot. I've covered some ground. I've covered some ground since I talked to you last. I think the last time I was on with you, we were in Alberta with Christian, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah, so, you guys were like You guys were stopping for gas at the gas station on the way.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when we were doing the convoy from Grand Prairie down to the mainland.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot has happened since then. A lot has happened. I have not been off the road since then.
Well, you haven't really been off the road this whole time. So I think the last time you gave me an update, you were at like day 80.
Yeah, today is day 88.
It's crazy.
And coincidentally, in 2 days when we go back to Ottawa for Rolling Thunder, which you will all find out about tonight, it will be 3 months exact to the day.
Crazy. Yeah, so Jeremy's going to talk to us about Rolling Thunder. He's going to talk to us about Title 15. And then we have a couple of videos that we want to share. I think 3 of them total we're going to share with you guys. Before he does that, I just want to talk to you all about a couple of quick things. We have, I saw a tweet about election fraud that just kind of blew my mind. I wanted to share all that with you guys in case you missed it. And I'm going to talk to you also about Title 42 and what that means and immigration. The Supreme Court voted today on it. Putting all of this on my website, so I'm just going to kind of go through it quickly. I did something crazy to my neck, and I cannot move, and I'm in a ridiculous amount of pain. So I'm going to try to get through this as best as I can without crying. I feel like I don't know, like a statue right now because I'm sitting so I'd never sit up straight like this, and this is painful.
I appreciate you being here.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it.
I was talking to Jen about an hour and a half ago, and she was like, "Yeah, I might just put you on." And then I felt bad right away, and I was like, "Oh, thank you for keeping going." So just so everybody knows, Jen's a trooper.
Oh, I'm trying. It's the weirdest thing. So I think was I telling you? I forget now, but I made this decision over the weekend to get healthier, and I was like, I'm gonna fast, I'm gonna drink my water, I'm gonna go to the gym. I went to the gym on Monday, felt great. Last night I didn't feel like cooking. Mikey and I were out running errands, so I said, I'll stop by Taco Bell. I went to the gym Monday, so that counts, right?
Yeah.
So I ate KFC Taco Bell for the first time in I can't even remember how long, and as soon as it touched my mouth, I felt sick.
I wonder why.
I was sick for hours too, out of nowhere. And I woke up this morning. I felt better, but my neck is just. I'm old enough now where I hurt myself sleeping, and I don't. Yeah. I'm not okay with it. So. Anyway.
Can you excuse me for 1 minute? I'm just gonna share this to a couple groups here.
Yeah, you do your thing. I'll talk about my stuff. I'll bring you back
be right
on.
Back.
No problem. Let's see. We have Gail is in North Carolina. Nanette says hello from Washington. Laura says great to be here with you in Camarillo, Southern California. Terry's in Minnesota. I am good, Snapper. Thank you so much for asking. From Okotoks, Alberta. Anna said no, it's snowing in Edmonton. Sorry. I hope you get some warmer weather soon. Sean is in Bardstown, Kentucky. Joanne says hello from Maine. Carol, hi Carol. Carol's in Quincy, Illinois. We love you too. Karen is in Florida, and Snapper Jeremy is going to be talking about Rolling Thunder Ottawa. He is the knower of all things Canada, and I know a little bit about a couple things here in the United States, one of them being Title 42, which I just really learned about today. I've heard it talked about quite a bit in the news recently. I really just kind of started digging into it today because I didn't even know what the heck Title 42 was. I didn't know what it meant. Let's see. So I want to share this with you guys. Like I said, I'm putting this together on my website. So right after the show, I'm going to make this post live, and you can read all this, click all of the links, all the accompanying articles. But Breitbart put out a report that said illegal aliens in the United States are up 1 million under Biden. Total now 15.5 million, costing taxpayers $143.1 billion a year. This article is from Breitbart. It is by Penny Star. And there's just a couple of sections that I wanted to read with you guys. I just trying to make it bigger because I'm blind. It says, the Federation for American Immigration Reform, also known as FAIR, released an analysis using U.S. Census Bureau data that shows the illegal alien population has ballooned since Joe Biden took office by 1 million, bringing the national overall total to 15.5 million at a taxpayer cost of $143.1 billion a year. Just over the course of Biden's first year as president, the cost of taxpayers for the new 1 million illegals is $9.4 billion. There is a link to the full report, but a summary says these staggering increases in both the size of the illegal alien population and the cost to the American public are a direct result of policies put in place since President Biden took office, concludes the report. The report reveals how a slew of policy changes, both at the border and in the interior of the country, propelled rapid surges in both the magnitude and the costs of illegal immigration. Specifically, upon taking office, the Biden administration canceled agreements with Mexico and governments in Central America and terminated border wall construction. These policies were effectively deterring new illegal immigration before President Biden came to office and allowed for the expedited return of most of those caught entering the country illegally. Similarly, the administration abandoned nearly all immigration enforcement in the interior of the country, resulting in record low numbers of illegal aliens who were removed from the country. We know also that they have been loading up planes full of illegal immigrants and just dropping them, spreading them out across the country. They have lost quite a few of the Border Patrol agents. They've lost quite a few law enforcement officers in general across the field because of the mandates a few months back. So this article really isn't telling us anything that we don't already know or didn't kind of expect to come with the flood of people that have been crossing our border, but it is pretty staggering to see those figures like that. So it goes on to say, rather than reinstate effective border and interior enforcement policies, the administration is doubling down on its ruinous open border policies and is set to end Title 42 on May 23rd. These new illegal alien population and cost estimates by FAIR and the imminent removal of the last effective border enforcement mechanism leave no doubt that unchecked illegal immigration and staggering cost burdens to the American public are the explicit goals of the Biden administration. Why would that be a goal of our United States presidential administration? To burden us with more cost. Why? So to understand Title 42 a little bit better, I came across this article. This is from Deseret News. This is by Maya Jaradat, and it explains what Title 42 is and what some of the different politicians in power think about it. We'll start at the top here. Title 42, the controversial policy that allows Customs and Border Protection to turn migrants away without allowing them to file for asylum, is slated to end on May 23rd. But on Thursday, a bipartisan group of senators introduced a bill that would block the lifting of the Title 42, throwing the Biden administration's plans into question. Senators from both parties have expressed concern about ending the policy before the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees Customs and Border Protection, is ready to deal with the expected surge of migrants that will follow. Republicans strongly oppose the lifting of Title 42, with some characterizing the move as irresponsible. I wonder why they think that. Maybe because we have millions of American citizens who can't find housing, can't find jobs, can't afford food and gas and medicine. Beats me, right? Others have said it will turn what is already a crisis on the border into a catastrophe. That sounds more accurate. Earlier this week, the Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who is against the end of Title 42, announced his plans to bus migrants directly from the southern border to Washington, D.C. We've played plenty of videos on that for you guys, and we saw that he did in fact fulfill his promise to do that. I believe that there were 2 busloads total that he shipped from Texas to the District of Columbia, and I think he also wanted to send another one to Washington, to Virginia. I'm not sure if that's happened yet. So what is Title 42? It is a piece of public health law that allows the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to stop people and property from entering the United States in the interest of public health, particularly when there is the existence of any communicable disease in a foreign country and there is serious danger of the introduction of such disease into the United States. Although it's regularly discussed in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, it has been on the books for decades. This is actually like shocking to me because they're using this now. Title 42 is in effect now. So that means that there are people that have not crossed the border. That fact alone is blowing my mind because we've had millions crossing the border already now in the past, year? Just over a year. Biden's been in office just over a year. So who are they turning away? And who are they letting in? If these people that they're turning away are seeking asylum, you're telling me all of these millions of people are all seeking asylum from their countries, and the United States is just so much better? It's not. It isn't. I hate to tell you, as an American citizen, it's not. I wish it was. I remember when it was. I know it can be. Yeah, I think that is, let's see, Mario said to swing elections. Absolutely. You can vote as long as you identify as a citizen. Ordinarily, if a non-citizen came to the border, if they were seeking asylum, they would be put in normal immigration proceedings and have a chance to show that they fear returning to their home country, said Stephen Kang, a detention attorney for the American Civil Liberties Union's Immigrant Rights Project. What Title 42 does is allow the government and Customs and Border Protection to bypass all that and immediately expel undocumented migrants. Problem is, they're not expelling anybody. They're letting everybody in. They're letting everybody in, and not only are they just letting them in, they're handing them phones and saying, hey, you have a court date in 2 or 3 or 5 years. Hope you show up. Please show up. But if you don't, we don't really have any way of tracking you. Oh, hey, and by the way, while you're here for these 2, 3, 5 years, don't forget to vote in our elections, and don't forget who helped get you here and gave you this phone. Thanks. Appreciate it. So you can learn more about Title 42 in this article. It's a little biased against Trump, but most media outlets are these days. There is also another article. This is from the Conservative Brief, where the Attorney General of Arizona says Biden administration exhibits consistent pattern of undermining the law. And it speaks specifically to immigration. Did an interview with Fox News. I can never pronounce his name. The Attorney General of Arizona slammed President Joe Biden's failed immigration policy, saying his administration exhibits a consistent pattern of undermining the law. Below is the transcript of the exchange. You can see all of that here. And I got this notification today. Supreme Court leans in favor of Trump over Biden in asylum border dispute. It's amazing that they still, everything is Trump, Trump, Trump. They talk about Trump constantly. But the Supreme Court justices gave a mostly skeptical hearing Tuesday to the Biden administration's bid to repeal President Trump's policy that has required tens of thousands of asylum seekers to wait in Mexico for their cases to be heard, regardless of the million that have already crossed into the border. Several of the court's conservatives said they agreed with Texas state lawyers and Trump-appointed judges who ruled that U.S. immigration officials may not allow the migrants to enter the country and go free pending their hearing. Let's see. No one disputes that the Department of Homeland Security does not have sufficient detention capacity to hold all of the migrants That was said by Solicitor General Elizabeth B. Prelogar, representing the administration. She also argued there was no way the government could detain so many asylum seekers for months or years. She cited a report that said there were 220,000 migrants apprehended at or near the border in March, but only 32,000 beds in detention. Justice Kavanaugh questioned whether that's what Congress intended. Is there any hint that anyone in Congress expected that if there was not sufficient detention capacity, that hundreds of thousands of people would be paroled into the United States without being lawfully admitted? Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? So you have these people waiting in Mexico, seeking asylum to cross the border, but then you have these other people that have just been crossing the border willy-nilly, freely, that they're handed cell phones. So you're telling me that they're not seeking asylum, so they're not in danger? There's no logic. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So the people that are fleeing the country, that are seeking asylum, that are in danger, you're making them wait. But the other people that you've just let in for the last year, the million or so, they are, on vacation? They're not in danger? Makes no sense. No sense. Welcome to America. A decision can be expected by late June, but the Biden administration wants to lift this May 23rd, so this is something to keep your eyes on and look out for. If I see any further information on this, I will be happy to share it with you, but I tried to just compile as much information as possible in case you were new to this like I was. I will be posting this as soon as the show is over. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, this will also be on my website, and then we'll hear all from Jeremy. I got a notification while I was at Easter, celebrating Easter with my family, because I'm Greek, so we celebrate the Orthodox Easter on Sunday. This was from the Donald J. Trump Tracker Twitter account. Breaking: Biden Department of Justice has issued guidelines cautioning states performing audits of election results. Threatened to sue all efforts to uncover election fraud. Immediately, I said out loud, if you did nothing wrong, why not let people look? If you have nothing to hide, you're adamant that there was absolutely no fraud in the election, why not let people take a look? Why not let them investigate? No, instead, you don't want transparency and you're threatening to sue people. I have been blocked on Twitter. I just got a notification earlier. I had my second block talking about, my first block came from talking about fraud in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. My second block today came from a video months ago, and it was actually Trump speaking at CPAC. The platform I was on did a restream of it. So Trump was speaking live at CPAC, and the platform played it, and I just happened to share it to my personal YouTube. And they gave me a warning, a strike on YouTube because of what Trump said about election fraud. It's crazy. So I have the report that the Department of Justice published. It was actually published back on July 28th, 2021. You can click the link to download the report. I have the report all here. It's just 8 pages long. And then I also saw an article today from Associated Press that said Florida governor signs bill creating election police unit. Now you can tell the Associated Press is a little biased because right in the first paragraph it says, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill Monday to create a police force dedicated to pursuing voter fraud and other election crimes, embracing a top priority of Republicans after former President Donald Trump's false claims that his re-election was stolen. What I find incredibly interesting is they say this, no fraud, no fraud. And then they also go on to say, I'm just trying to find it here, voter fraud is rare, typically occurs in isolated instances, and is generally detected. An Associated Press investigation of the 2020 presidential election found fewer than 475 potential cases. So you found 475 potential cases of voter fraud. The same thing, the voter fraud that you said doesn't exist, you found voter fraud. Weird. But if I talk about possible voter fraud, I get silenced, I get censored, I get blocked, I get banned. But the Associated Press did an investigation, found, even though they threw in the word fewer, found 475 potential cases of voter fraud, which we all know right now is the bottom of the barrel and the tip of the iceberg. Blows my mind. Well, this whole thing just blows my mind. But that'll be up on the website as soon as the show is over as well. I can't wait for you guys to all check all that out. Crazy, crazy. Let's see. So I'm just going to get caught up with the comments here. I'm reading in my head, and I love all of you guys. Hypo said, nothing makes sense today. Yes is no, no is yes. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right. My friend Jeremy is ready.
I just like to touch. Sorry, you go ahead and finish.
No, go.
I just wanted to touch on a couple things that you were just talking about there.
Yeah.
I made some notes here. You were talking about. You know me. You're talking about like the immigration and stuff.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'll send you some videos. So right now, Canada is in an absolute housing crisis. It is nearly impossible for a first-time homebuyer to purchase a house. There are houses being snapped up 10, 20, 30, up to $50,000 over asking price, all by investment firms.
Yep.
Coincidentally. But yeah, you were touching on the voting there. So Trudeau this week whined about how immigration has affected the housing market. And then the next day vows to up his immigration to 250,000 this year. Literally within 24 hours.
Listen.
And nobody questions it. They're just like, okay.
I love you and Kyle and Jesse, and I am counting down the days to go and meet all of you guys officially in person, but I can't I can't imagine who in their right mind right now would want to be in Canada.
I don't. The only
who's going there?
Basically,
who's migrating to Canada?
To sum it up, I'm going to tell you guys about what we're doing. It has nothing to do with this weekend. Rolling Thunder is completely separate from the People's Freedom Movement, but we are going to take this country back within a month. And if that fails, I won't be here. We already have that plan in place. But so I definitely see what you're saying. so do my friends and family. But this is kind of what I'm going to talk about later is kind of our last stand, I guess you could say, in Canada. But yeah, I heard a couple things you said there, and I wanted to touch on that because it was so ironic that one day he was blaming the housing crisis on the immigration, and the next day he was up in the immigration, and nobody questions it. They're just like, okay, Mr. Trudeau.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And somebody was talking to me about immigration, and they were like, "Oh, well, what do you think? We should just turn everybody away? That's really cold of you. You're so cold-hearted." No, I would love to help people, but it's the same thing when you're helping somebody from another country, helping on a large scale. It's the same thing as helping on a small scale. You have to help yourself first.
Yes.
Look,
or else you're not there.
Right, our country is in shambles right now. I mean, we have a house. I've been trying to look for an apartment since December, and I'm in a small town, and there are tons of apartments, but it's not like, an older couple that owns a rental that makes extra money or anything like that in retirement, or a guy who just, owns a couple of rental. Everything that I've always pictured as a landlord, they don't exist anymore. There are all these firms now and agencies. You don't talk to a person. Everything's online, which is fine in 2022, but it's all very corporate.
You need a credit check.
Yep, background checks. It's a 50. The one I looked at today, it was $55 just to submit an application. Why am I going to pay to submit an application for an apartment I might not even get? with the way that the cost of things today, like for a single mom, it's crazy.
Essentially, that company has cut out their human resources payroll, and that's on you now.
Yep.
It's essentially what it is.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
It really is. And you have
like you were saying about I'm a proud Canadian. There's a reason I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want Canada to remain the country that people look to. I'm sure you, as an American growing up, that people looked up to Canada as like a peaceful, free country. I don't understand how anybody expects us to stay that way unless we focus on Canada first. And the same with you guys. Unless you focus on America first, there is no fucking America. Excuse my language, but it's absolutely ridiculous that people can't put that critical thought together.
Right.
It's you can't help others unless you're willing to help yourself.
Yep. And put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes back to my addict days, to anything. Like, people reached out to me for years wanting to help them, and I was like, no, I'm good. Until I wanted to help myself, there's no way I could have helped anybody else.
So Denise just made a great point I want to bring up. She said apparently there are approximately 50,000 Afghan refugees still in overcrowded hotel rooms, and now Ukraine people are coming in, but I have no idea where they're going to live. Well, here's what I think is going to happen, and this is just a theory, but Jeremy just said it. So you have these big corporations that are coming in, they're buying housing, they're buying apartment buildings, and they might get paid by the government a substantial amount of money to rent these.
They own the government.
Right. Well, right. You have companies like BlackRock and Blackstreet and all these different that all own each other. But they come in and they buy. Here's what they do. They buy these properties so that not only is it harder for like everyday Americans and everyday Canadians to own their own homes outright, because they'll buy these homes in these neighborhoods and then rent them out to people. You'll own nothing and you like it. Remember that? So they're buying up all these property, and they did this to African Americans, I believe in the 80s and 90s. I forget exactly what it was called. Redlining, I believe. And what they would do is they would buy up a house and they would rent it to a black family, and then they would knock on the doors of all the white families that lived in the area and say, hey, there's a black family moving in. You sure you want to live in this neighborhood? Crime's going to skyrocket. Your value of your home's going to go down. So then they would move out, and BlackRock, Blackstreet, all these different companies would buy up all the homes and then resell them for double. And they did this. I mean, it's illegal. It's heinous. It's disgusting. But they did this, and they got away with it. It's insane. So I firmly believe that they're just going to keep doing the same things that they know work. They're going to be buying up all these properties, and they're going to rent them out to the highest bidder. And if the highest bidder is the government, so be it. They don't care who's paying their bills as long as somebody's paying them. Angela said Angela said last year my neighbor's household, immediately about 5 families moved into it. They don't speak English. Marlene said, but Trudeau is helping himself, and that's all he's interested in. He must go soon.
So there's a reason I wanted to put your comment up there, Marlene. I agree with you 100%. But the biggest issue in Canada right now is everybody is looking at this as a liberal issue. This is not a liberal issue. The WF has infiltrated all parties in Canada. All parties. Pierre Poilievre is an absolute joke. He's a puppet. And we have all these freedom fighter people now backing him. Pierre Poilievre was removed from the WF website on February 13th. Do you know what was going on February 13th? We were on the ground in Ottawa freezing our asses off fighting for freedom. Coincidence. Pierre Poilievre is also worth $9 million and makes about $60,000 a year. No way to prove it. Another thing. Last week in BC, do you know what Pierre Poilievre required to access his rallies? A vaccination pass. Does that sound like somebody who's on your side in this fight? Because if it does, I wish you the best. I don't think it does. People need to connect the dots here and realize this is not a liberal problem. This is not an NDP problem. This is not a conservative problem. This is a global issue, and until we come together and realize that, we don't have a chance.
I agree.
Rant over. Sorry.
That's okay. So
I just said Pierre Poilievre, man, he's turning all these freedom people, and it's like just a week ago in BC. BC didn't require a vax pass, but he did.
well, you know,
Connect
a
the
lot of
dots,
people,
Steve.
a lot of people say the same thing about Trump. Like, you have all these people that absolutely love Trump and, you know, would want to name their kids after Trump, but he came out talking about the vaccine. He started the whole thing. You know, he comes out still at rallies talking about it. So now at least he's changed his story a little bit and says, "Oh, well, it shouldn't be mandated. It should be your decision." But I don't know. Is anybody good
Freedom.
left?
Freedom of choice. It's up to the people. It's up to us now. And people need to start realizing that the government in North America, no matter whether you're Canadian or American, your government is not here to save you. It is now up to the people.
Yep, I agree. Mario, thank you so much for correcting me. He said redlining is a bit different. That's when banks won't lend in certain lower income neighborhoods. I wish I could remember the exact name for it. I'll have to look it up. So I've heard it talked about a bunch of times, but the name is evading me. Hot Stick said he's unchallenged by mainstream media. That should tell you something.
Exactly. 100%.
I agree, absolutely. Patty said about Trump, he listened to Fauci, that's why. I can understand that, you know, but I don't know, there's just been so much damage that's been caused at this point, and I think, too, like, we're all hurt. You know, when you put your hand on the stove, you learn to not touch the stove because you've been burned. We've all been burned so badly by so many people for so long and so many different things. It's like, who do you trust now? Who do you believe in now? You know I can believe in myself. I know I can believe in you and Christian and Sam and Squirrely, but unless I see it for myself now, or it's coming from somebody that I know, love, and trust, I question it profusely because I don't know. You know, you have people that say one thing and do another, or do one thing and say another. Look at all these people that Kamala Harris just tested positive for COVID, and she's coming out saying, "Don't forget to get your vaccine." Like, what's wrong with you? You have the disease that you're supposed to be. What?
I also saw that her office is saying she doesn't have symptoms, but that she's taking the new Pfizer drug.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was one comment there. Excuse my finger, guys. I'm on my phone here. I'm not as equipped as Natasha. Maybe you can help me as I'm not as equipped as Jen. Maybe you can help me with Natasha's comment is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Did you star it, or?
I did not. It's 4 up, I believe.
1, 2, 3. From Gail.
1 above, I believe.
Oh, okay. Angela said now he knows better by way of their documents.
I guess it's further up than that. Here we go. My bad.
Well, I agree with you, Angela.
So Natasha says he knew the sheep would follow, but the people who had to, he gave them an option for recovery for those who felt they had to take it. You're right, though. A lot of people started to question Trump because of that. So,
Yep.
Back to Pierre Poilievre. I'm sure you remember me saying in Ottawa, Jen, who is this guy on his white horse riding in here on day 6, telling everybody what they wanted to hear?
Yep.
Prior to this, Pierre Poilievre wasn't even a dot on the map. And people don't connect these dots. They're just like, oh, he'll help us. Oh, he'll help us. Like, wake up. And I don't mean to offend anybody when I say that. But if we learn anything from this, it's to question everything. You can't just put your trust into people, especially people on the payroll.
Well, it's funny. Angela said they're all mentally ill. Truly believe that, literally. Like, I don't doubt it at this point. You know, when you, if not ill, then deranged or affected in some way mentally. Yeah, by money, by greed. I think a lot of people are at the point now that it's like when you're stuck in a desert and you've been walking for so long, you see the mirage of water. And you see that salvation, you have that hope, and you just can't help but run to it. I think that a lot of people are just at that point now where it's been, you know, you have people that have been awake throughout this entire pandemic. You have people that have been awake for years longer, people like you that have been awake their whole lives. It gets to the point where you're like, okay, enough's enough. When is this going to start turning around here?
Like I said in Ottawa, I'll die on this hill to show the fucking world, and I'm going back, and I will die on that fucking hill to show the world what's fucked up, because hopefully, if people see it, they'll be like, okay, maybe this is wrong. But we still have people in Canada, like the WHO is releasing commercials about their global takeover, and people still think it's a conspiracy. So, in the nicest way possible, a lot of I'm calling them Walking Dead now, just need to stay out of the way while we figure this shit out, because it's become very clear that people either A, don't give a fuck, or B, are that brainwashed that we need to make the difference in order to save them after.
I think that I definitely do think that a lot of people are waking up. I think that the number grows like daily. I think that they try to make us think that we are smaller than we actually are, and that there aren't as many people awake, because I don't know about you, but the more like everyday people that I talk to at Mikey's school or at football games and practices and stuff, my family, you know, they're all like aware. They might not be fully aware, but they're at least starting to ask questions, and they're open to learning. Remember when nobody like would hear a word about the vaccine or about masks? Now they're starting to question things. Their mind's a little bit more open to it. I definitely think that's improving. And you even have mainstream media that's kind of, some of them, so I found this article. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it just fits in so perfectly. I'm just going to bring it up really quick. This is from the New York Times, and it says, before Washington's Nerd Prom, lots of risk-benefit calculations. So they've poked fun at Biden already. Mainstream media has. Now they're talking about this gathering, which, let's see. Where's the name of it? White House Correspondents' Dinner is going to be held. Obviously, we just said Vice President Kamala Harris has been diagnosed with COVID-19, so is she going to go? Is it safe for President Joe Biden to attend? You know, they don't know. They haven't done this in 2 years, so apparently they were looking forward to it. But it's, I saw that title, like, Nerd Prom. Well, they're, starting to take shots again. Good for them.
I'll cheers that one. Nerd Prom. Cheers to the Nerd Prom.
Snap. So, all right. Snapper said, Phil G said yesterday that Elon was basically appointed by the Patriots and he didn't pay a dime for Twitter. That Twitter had violated Trump's executive order 13848, so devolution must progress. Any thoughts? I do have thoughts on this. You remember I don't know if you saw this, Jeremy, because you're not in America, so why would you watch these things? But Trump
I do.
No, well, Trump and Elon. This was before. Okay. Years ago, Trump and Elon were talking, and Trump said something like, "You're going to help us," and Elon said, "Why should I help you?" And Trump said, "Because we helped you." And it was kind of a random conversation that was had years ago, and now looking back on it, people are thinking, well, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty intriguing. I'll try to find that little back and forth between the two of them. But, people are freaking out about Twitter. They're so excited. They're thinking that Twitter is the new place to be, and you got all these other people that are upset and crying and quitting and
a whole different battle. I do not put my trust in Elon Musk, and I deal with this on almost a daily basis because I share a lot of Elon memes in support of Elon, and people are like, Elon's not on our side, and I'm like, I know, but let's use him while we can to our advantage, and then we'll worry about Elon, because right now Elon's not the one coming for us right this second.
He's also the guy that wants to put chips in everybody's brain.
Yeah.
So it
says some of my destinations have errors. So
yeah,
Did I just get blocked? Did I just get banned?
We actually both did simultaneously.
Wow.
From Facebook completely. So I'm trying to.
Wow.
redo it. Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about immigration and election fraud. Let me see. I'm adding back. All right, so I added my Facebook, your profile, and your page. We should be back up. Carla, oh no, just lost the feed. Everybody did on Facebook. Censorship at its finest. I wonder if I can log in and it'll tell me
we're
why.
We're climbing again. We're at 7.
Let's see.
Does yours say 7?
Mine says 7. Yep.
Wow.
I don't have a. Let me see. I'm trying to find the notification.
Oh, we're up to 9.
We're up to 9. We're at almost 50.
Oh, 11.
I'm looking to find the reasoning as to why we were kicked off. You didn't lose us, Brian. Facebook dropped us. So I just watched. The numbers were dropping, and all of a sudden I watched boom, boom, boom. Each one fell off. So luckily,
and then we had that error too. Then we had the error.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're climbing again though.
We said something that Facebook didn't like, so Facebook dropped it. So I apologize to anybody who Anna said I can hear them listening.
Welcome to my life, Anna.
It's funny because I'll have phone conversations with Sam, and every once in a while I'm like, every once in a while I say, man, I feel really bad for whoever's listening to us because I know somebody is.
Elon, I'm somewhat on your side, bro. Come on.
I know.
Leave me alone.
I don't think that was it, but
we're dropping again.
Well, you know, I tell everybody, go over to Twitch, go over to Rumble, go over to DLive. Facebook is just not. It's not the. You know, I use it because you guys all use it, but
yeah, that's a good way to put it. I feel the same way. The only reason I haven't left is because I have nobody on other platforms.
Yep.
Nobody else is willing to leave.
Yep. And I can't get Truth Social yet. I don't have an iPhone. Everybody always says, well, get on Truth Social. I don't have an iPhone, so, you know, there's no way to know when that's going to be all set up, ready to go for Android or desktop.
I have an iPhone, and I can't get Truth Social because I'm in Canada. So they've got us multiple different ways. So there's
Rumble that I use that I'm on, and there's DLive, there's Twitch. I'm on Gab, but Gab costs money, and I'm already paying for the streaming. I pay for the website. I pay for Rumble. To take on another expense right now when I don't have the numbers, it's just it doesn't.
She pays for my website.
So yeah, I do. So yeah, it's
God love you.
No, I love you too. But it's hard, you know. These free things that they give us, like Facebook and YouTube, they come with so many different requirements that listen. People have told me too, like, well, just don't say the word vaccine and don't say the word. I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not. It's a free country where I live, and I should be able to say whatever I want to say. And if there's people that don't want me to, then okay, I'll use other things. But maybe
just give me 30. I'm just gonna check mine out here and see if I got a warning or something.
Yeah, I was just doing the same thing, and I didn't see anything there. But you know, if I wish that everybody would just say, that's it, we're leaving, and message all of our close friends and all our family and neighbors. And say, hey, listen, I'm going to wherever it is, pick a platform. I hope you'll join me. But we have to do it together. Because if just one of us goes, then it's lonely and it's hard to do. You need your community with you. So if we all go, if everyone that follows me and everyone that follows Jeremy all goes to Gab or all goes to MeWe or to Getter, whatever, you know, or all goes to Rumble and Locals, then we're all together and we build from there. So many people still rely on Facebook, and unfortunately, Facebook just does not like us at all. Does not like free speech. So
I just, I have no restrictions.
Me neither.
I just shared it to my Jeremy Gibson and my Jeremy Gibson Freedom Fighter from my Jeremy Spinney page, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, all right. So you wanted to start. You're going to update us on all things Ottawa. Big things coming up this weekend. Um, Ottawa bans bikers is where you want to start, or vets gave you freedom.
Let's go with Ottawa bans bikers first. Just before we pull it up, I just want to explain to everybody what's going on here. So Rolling Thunder. Yeah. So Rolling Thunder. Most of you know that are from Canada what Rolling Thunder is. Rolling Thunder is going on this weekend in Ottawa. The veterans are doing a pass to the city. They've got some speeches. They're going to. Oh, and I just lost audio completely.
I can hear you.
Okay. I forgot what I was saying, but okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I just took me off.
Oh, that's why I can't hear you anymore.
Yeah. No, I took me out so you could have the whole screen. But you were telling us about Rolling Thunder.
I'm just at this point. I'm just assuming that they're blocking my audio.
Probably.
So yeah, Rolling Thunder this weekend.
Do you want me to bring up the pictures?
Yeah, sure. Let's bring up the pictures.
Okay. So we have Rolling Thunder. Oh.
So this is April 29th. So just before we get into this, there's two separate events going on, and you guys will see in the videos why that's an important issue. So Freedom Fighters Canada is putting on an event, and Rolling Thunder is a separate event. The veterans and the bikers, they're going to pay their respects to the War Memorial because the veterans were beat up and arrested on their memorial last time when we left Ottawa. So they're going to sage the memorial, if you want to put it that way. But they have made it very clear, as much as they are aligned with Freedom Fighters Canada, that they are separate events. So this is from Rolling Thunder. As you can see, April 29th, bikers arrive in Ottawa, prepare for rollout. So that is on the Friday. Friday at 6 p.m., Freedom Fighters Canada has a event at Parliament Hill, 6 p.m. So if you can go to the next one there, Jen. So yeah, this is Saturday here. 9 a.m. veterans arrive. 10 a.m. National anthem, guest speakers. 11:11 wreath laying, minute of silence. 11:15 Rolling Thunder arrives. And what do we got next there? That's the Rolling Thunder. So that's the route. So we'll post these in the comments below. I'm not going to go through the route because it means nothing to a lot of you. But for anybody who does want to check out the route, we'll post that in the comments. If we can move on to the next one. And there's the route visually. So as you're going to see in the video, so the first video is from Sunday. And you'll see why. Basically, the city and the police, after working with the organizers for the past month, just threw them under the bus this weekend. And they've kind of been scrambling ever since. In a way, they haven't been too worried about it. But once again, the Ottawa Police, Mayor, I'm sure Trudeau, I'm sure higher ups than Trudeau, are trying to put a stop to this, and they're going to be blockading the city themselves. So if you want to bring up that first video, Jen, before we get to the other image.
Yeah, so the first video you said was the longer one?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so I believe it's this one.
Hey folks, how you doing? Neil. Been a crazy few weeks. It has been. We're putting a video out right now because we ended up getting an email from the city. We did. And they have informed us that no vehicles will be allowed in the downtown area, Parliament Hill, or the Cenotaph. We have been working with the city and the police day one, completely transparent of what we are planning to do with the bikes, with the route, with the monument, everything. We wanted to go back to that monument, lay a wreath by veterans that were removed physically from that monument. They desecrated it. They put a big 7-foot fence around it. And then veterans came in and took it down. And they agreed with the police, and the police agreed with us that veterans would guard it 24/7 until powers that be decided to come in and remove them physically from sacred ground. Transparent from the start. They're not going to let us do the loop. They don't want any vehicles in town. They say, oh, you can protest all you like, but no vehicles, period. So we sent a letter back, an email, stating, you'll see it, it'll be out with all the information, it'll be coming out, about our position, and we would like them to contact us. Today's Sunday, and we sent that out, I think it was Saturday morning. We got it on Friday. I got it on Friday, woke up, saw it, sent it out. Looked at the team, and they went, we need to put this out and get the city and the police to contact us. So we gave them a time limit because we're not going to wait until Friday afternoon for them to go, I'm not going to get back to you. So if we don't get a reply from the city by 4 o'clock Sunday, you get to see my face. So if you're looking at this, yeah, they didn't reply. Been so transparent with them. Now, Mr. Mayor, if you're watching this, thousands of people are coming to the city. There could be over 1,000 bikes coming to your city. We had a route nailed. Vanier, Rideau, Weller down to Laurier. Laurier up Elgin, up and around, back down to Laurier, out to Nichols, back down to the 417. We will be out of the city. Plain and simple. Now you've taken that little bit of control, that quasi-control that we could have had to guide the motorcycles. And now it's going to be a free-for-all. But if you get back to us, we can work on this. We can get that route, get up on the hill, just do that route, done. It is going to be a safety issue, Mr. Mayor. It's a safety issue. And from day one, I've always been about the safety of the bikes, safety of the public. Constantly. Safety, safety, safety. You've got to have a route. So if you don't get back to us, Mr. Mayor, and try and sort this thing out, change your mind. The onus is on you. I can't just say, snap my fingers, say, guys, go away. Bikers do whatever they want. They're big boys and girls. There's a lot of things I'd really like to say, but no. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, folks. I am. I'm really frustrated. Just like the rest of Canada is. We're frustrated. Like I said, boys, girls, coming into town, do it peaceful. Dignity and respect. Don't have them paint us with a bad brush. Because that's what we are. We're a brotherhood. We look after each other. Dignity for each other. Respect for each other. Respect for people. There's so many good groups out there that are coming. So if you're coming in, come in peaceful. Have a ride around town. Go get something to eat. Or park your bikes. Maybe walk up to the hill yourself. So, Mr. Mayor, I'm imploring you to have a relook at this. It's a safety issue for you. It's a safety issue for the bikes, and it's a safety. I don't mean you personally. I mean for your city. It's not. It's no one's coming for you. Maybe in the ballot box. Yeah. Good luck with that one. But the Canadian public is coming. Plain and simple. They're coming, and they're going to come in peace. And I promise you, it will be peaceful. As far as I know, these are peace-loving people. They're a little bit upset, but reconsider, contact us. Let's work on a route. Let's get this done peacefully. Anyway, just remember one thing, Mr. Mayor, God even loves you, and he's coming with us. All right?
All right. So I saw you guys, a couple of you were having some internet issues and some audio issues. It was up all the way for me, and I could hear it just fine, so I'm not sure. Jeremy, could you hear it okay on your end?
I could hear it loud and clear. I will tell everybody, one thing I've learned about live feeds, it doesn't happen all the time, but there's a reason I'm wearing my headphones. It tends to be a lower audio with live feeds, especially when we're putting videos on the screen and stuff. I understand that everybody doesn't have the quick option to do that, but maybe looking ahead, if this is something you're interested in and continuing to watch, I've noticed it's not just ours. Lots of times I'm fumbling for my headphones when I get somebody on the live. It doesn't seem to affect so much unless you're on StreamYard or something like it. If you're doing Facebook Direct, I find the audio is basically there, but I don't know. I'm just pointing out my what's the word I'm looking for? My observations.
So Facebook, I teach a lot of social media, coach it, I have for years, and Facebook doesn't like it when you use outside platforms. So the fact that we use StreamYard to post to Facebook, Facebook already doesn't like that. They would much prefer that you use their own tools and things that are already embedded within their website. They want people that are on Facebook to stay on Facebook. That's why if you post a link right in your post, most of the time it's going to be banned. It's going to be shadow banned. It's going to be hidden from a lot of people because Facebook looks at it and says, well, if somebody clicks that link, they're going to be leaving Facebook, and we want them to continue on Facebook so we can make money by them being on Facebook. So not at all surprised by that at all. Neil, that was Neil. And who is Neil?
So Neil is, I don't know Neil personally, nor have I talked to Neil online or anything. I've been busy with my own stuff here. But Neil is a man who, about a month ago, he was on Parliament Hill while they were doing a rally. This is after Ottawa convoy, of course. But there's been a large group of people who haven't left Ottawa. Obviously, they're not blockading or anything like that, but they've been doing rallies every Saturday, every Friday, stuff during the week for the homeless, et cetera, et cetera. But Neil is a veteran who stepped up on the Hill about a month ago on somebody's live, and he said the bikers are coming. And he gave a date, and him himself, he's put out a video, and he didn't expect it to get to where it is now. Now they've joined forces with multiple freedom communities, and this is gonna be big for anybody in the States looking for something to do this weekend. We got you covered. I promise you that. We got you covered this weekend.
Well, I remember when you guys were in Ottawa, constantly people were like, oh, if only it was nicer, if there wasn't so much snow, if it wasn't so cold, we would have come. Could you imagine if the bikers were there, blah, blah, blah. Now, so this guy, if you couldn't hear what he was saying, basically what Neil said was, we organized something, we put together a route because we had such an amazing feedback, such an amazing response. We organized something. We put together a route that was safe for everybody that was participating, everybody that was, safe in the city. The city came back and said, you can't do this. So what Neil was just saying is, please rethink that decision, because I can't tell these thousands of bikers not to come. They are adults. They can make their own decisions. They're coming. They're going to come. Please let us do it the organized way that we prepared. Please let us do it the safe way. Please don't,
I just lost you. Was that
I,
me or?
yeah, it was you. Well, I think it was you anyway, because you froze. But that was the gist of the whole video. What he was just saying is to the mayor who came out with this decision to please let us do it our organized.
Well, and see, prior, like for the month prior, he was working with the city and the mayor. They developed this route together, and then all of a sudden on Saturday, things changed. So that's why he was saying they made the video. They weren't gonna release the video if they answered them back, and that's why he said, if you're hearing this, they haven't answered us back. They even waited 24 hours to release the video. As everybody just saw, we are trying. We are, as everybody knows, that watched the lives, that was there. We were within our rights in Ottawa. The only violence in Ottawa was by those state troopers, the RCMP, whoever the guys in green were. I'm pretty sure they were NATO. We all saw what happened. They moved on us, and we attempted to stand our ground. Obviously, to remain peacefully, we could not just stand our ground. And that's why we were shoot out over the period of 3 days there. So let's move on to the second video. So that was from Sunday, guys. That was released Sunday. The one we're about to show is today. So there's been a lot up in the air. And this is just a reassurance that this weekend is going to go on. We are not going to be scared. We know what our rights entail. And if we cannot peacefully protest within our country, especially the veterans, if the veterans cannot peacefully protest in this country, then that should be a defining example of people needing to realize what is going on here.
All right, I'm going to share this video, guys. It's about 4 minutes long, and if for any reason you have any audio issues, let me know in the comments, and I will recap it again for you after this video. So we're going to pull this up now. Same guy.
How you doing? Yeah, Neil from Hill. Okay. Right now, there has been a lot of confusion, all right, from the mainstream media, confusion and disinformation, and I think we need to clarify some things here, all right? Our event has always been about the veterans. It's always been about the monument, and it's always been about the bikes driving around and saluting the monument. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. We got some speeches. Drop the wreath. Minute of silence. Give back dignity to the monument and give dignity back to the veterans. Now, here's the confusion. This is what the media is trying to say, okay? We are not connected to the Freedom Fighters event on the Hill, although we do support any group that wants to fight for freedom of all Canadians. They have an event on the Hill. That's it, up on the Hill. And we're not affiliated with any of their speakers. Chris Sky. But freedom of speech in this country was paid for by veterans. Veterans that will be there, who put their lives on the line so people can say what they want. I may not agree with it. A lot of veterans may not agree with it. But here's the thing. For freedom of speech, we were willing to put our lives on the line. I did it. We put our lives on the line so you could have freedom of speech. Well, Well, I'm sure the freedom of speech event is going to be interesting. It's not affiliated with Rolling Thunder, as in the Rolling Thunder, our event. So let's make this clear, okay? Our event is all about the monument. It's all about the veterans. It's all about the bikes. Freedom Fighters Canada are having another event up the street on Parliament Hill. And we're not affiliated with Chris Sky. He can say what he wants because veterans gave him the right of free speech. Veterans give you the right of free speech. The people that died, to give you that freedom of free speech. I hope this clears things up, folks. That's what we do. We give you the rights with our lives willingly. I hope it clears things up. And remember, God loves you and He's with us and He will be there.
Jeremy's emotional again.
That was what Laura said it. So powerful. He is so correct. I mean, I know for me at least, like, I make concessions so that I can be comfortable, I have changed my language on Facebook sometimes when I'm making posts because I want the post to stay, and I know that it'll get censored if I spell out the word COVID or if I spell out the word vaccine, so I use an emoji. But I also didn't fight for those rights. They were given to me. They were handed to me. There are other people who have sacrificed everything, even lost everything, who did fight for those rights. And the fact that they can't enjoy them after doing their service is disgusting. Why did they do it then?
Especially considering the way they were treated on the memorial when we were pushed out of Ottawa.
Right. What was that?
They were literally beat. Veterans were beat.
You guys, you would go back to the statue every day and show the Terry statue.
Terry Fox statue.
Yeah. And I remember still, even like after you guys had left, people were saying how you guys vandalized it and broke it and desecrated it and everything. I was like, I saw that statue every day. It never looked better. People were cleaning it. They were shoveling around it. There were flowers around it, candles and poems and letters and pictures. I never knew about the veterans. I knew that you guys, I remember seeing a veteran shoveling off the monument, and he was approached by mainstream media. I saw this on one of your lives, and he was like, I'm all set. I don't really want to talk to you. Please let me do my thing. And he was like, the mainstream media guy was like, well, we just want to film you doing this. And he's like, I want no part of it. I want no part of who you are and what you stand for and what you represent. I just want to leave me be. Let me do my thing.
And there was also the one, the video I shared, if I can try to dig it up, guys, but there was a man from China, and he walked up to, it was, I forget his first name, his last name is Spinney. He's got a big beard. He was at the memorial every day in Ottawa. And there's a video of a Chinaman walking up to him, and he literally said, like, whatever I need to do, I will stand with you guys. This is why I left my country.
I saw that. Yep.
Like, if people are willing to, and they're not only willing, they're doing it. The people are supporting the veterans being removed from that memorial. And to those people, I don't even have anything to say other than I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to repeat those words. And I want you to do it over and over and over until something hits you. Because that hitting you is going to be a lot better than somebody else.
Well, that I think too, like some people are just so full of fear and rage and hurt that they're not thinking what it is that they're doing. Like like you just said, say it to yourself and think about that. I want veterans removed from a veteran memorial.
Yeah.
I want and elaborate. I want the people that fought for me to have these rights and freedoms removed from a sacred space that is meant to celebrate their sacrifices.
Do you know what I think?
I don't, but I hope you're going to tell me.
I think that anybody that feels that way should go fight for Ukraine. If you want to throw your own veterans under the bus who gave you the right to express that opinion, then why don't you go fight for the Nazis in Ukraine and see how you feel? We'll see how our conversation goes in a couple weeks after that. We'll see how you feel about the veterans. Because the people, I'm seeing videos every day of American Canadian soldiers going to Ukraine, and they're not allowed to leave. And that is what is coming. We are all going to have to go to a war that we are not willing to fight. And these people already fought it. And you're not going to let them go see their monument? Well, I got a problem with you myself. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, it's just I don't have words. I don't know.
My grandfather was on the first Canadian naval ship to fly the Canada flag in international waters. I could never sign up for the army or anything because I don't like taking orders. And now I see why I don't like taking those orders, because a lot of them are bullshit. And they do not have the best interests of our country at hand. They have the best interests of rich political fucks, excuse my language, that only want to profit on our well-being. And I have never been more ready to go to war, but I am not going to go to war under orders from some puppet in a suit. I will go to order for my rights and beliefs and what is in my heart. And I guarantee you, I ain't going to war to fight with Ukraine.
So Denise said, the area the police are blocking and most of Ottawa is not even owned by Canada. It is on unceded Algonquin land, Indigenous.
Yes, 100%. It is. Wellington, and that's what you probably remember me saying to the locals of Ottawa when they were on Wellington Street. They're like, go home. And I was like, no, make me. And they're like, get out of our city. Well, Wellington Street's not your city. Wellington Street is federal ground, and every Canadian taxpayer owns that city just as much as you do. That street just as much as you do. So I will politely remind you that no, I will not go home. And I will be there Friday. And
I am home. So you said that this would make a little bit more sense after we watch those two videos.
Yes, so like he said, unfortunately, due to the state-controlled media, which is, I know you guys have lots of different platforms in the States. But
they all basically say the same thing, with the exception of Fox.
Well, even Fox is owned by Vanguard BlackRock.
Yep.
Which I'm surprised Tucker is allowed to say what he is to say. But anyways, back to Canada. CTV Global, CBC are all state-controlled media. CBC gets $1.49 billion taxpayer dollars a year. So, as somebody who lost his business, if my business is doing well, I don't need to ask for a government handout. The fact that CBC needs a government handout proves that their journalism on its own isn't cutting it. They're not able to pay their own bills because their journalism is so shit. Because they're not reporting stories, they are creating stories. And that's why you guys can look. Look 20 years ago on the news. They're looking at the camera. Look nowadays on the news. They're like this. And every politician in the House of Commons is like this. They don't even know what the fuck they're saying. Because they're not talking from the heart. They're not talking about what they believe in. They're reading some text by some schmuck in a suit who isn't even have the balls to show his face on camera. And it's all state-controlled media. I'm getting sidetracked here because I'm getting worked up. But back to why he has to differentiate the two. It's state-controlled media. They're trying to spin the story. They're trying to say that the bikers aren't trying to do what they do. The bikers are doing their own thing. I've been attacked in this on my TikTok. I've been attacked in this on my Facebook. I had to make a TikTok just about this. I am not going to Rolling Thunder because I'm a biker. It's pretty clear I'm not a biker. I don't have a bike. You know what else is pretty clear? I wasn't a trucker either. But I was still there for almost 40 fucking days showing how I feel and my opinion to the government. Now, although I'm going to Rolling Thunder, I'm going to support the veterans and the bikers. And I know for the other side, supporting multiple things is hard to distinguish. I know that's hard to get through some people's head that you can support more than one thing at once. But it is very possible if you're not manipulated by the media. But that is why Freedom Fighters has to have their own schedule. Rolling Thunder has to have their own schedule. So this is the Freedom Fighters schedule. I'm not going to read it to you because I'm on my phone and it's too small. But we'll post it in the comments. Come on, people. I know, and I hate saying "come on, people" because I know that everybody on here, 99% chance, they know these things. I'm not going to be Chris Sky and slam negativity down people's throats that are already at a rally. There's a reason these people are at a rally. They already know these things, and that's why I don't agree with a lot of things Chris Sky says. I don't know if anybody caught that in the video there where he said we're not associated with certain speakers. Chris Sky. I don't have anything bad to say about Chris Sky. I met Chris Sky. He seems like a great man. I don't agree with his message a lot of the times, but that's his right as a Canadian and his freedom of speech. My opinion doesn't reflect your feelings. And that's how we got in this mess. And I will die fighting to change that. I will die fighting to change that because my son's opinion doesn't need to reflect your feelings in 10 years. And if you think it does, then I wish I had the entitlement you have. Because I don't know what that feels like. So before I go too ranty here, I'm just going to stop because I don't want to offend anybody. But see, the fact that I have to say that is a problem. I never would have said that 5 years ago. But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, it's crazy times. I can't do the negativity anymore, really, honestly. Like, I hit a wall, and I just can't. I need to set boundaries. I had somebody in my Telegram channel today who was just spreading some hate and nonsense, racist stuff, and I was like, I just can't. I love that you have, you feel safe here to share your opinions and your thoughts, but I can't have it in my space, and you need to go find your own, make your own. And he was like calling me a censorship and a mongrel, all these other words. I'm like, listen, this is my channel. I made it, so you go make your own channel. You go do your thing.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, why are you here?
Yep. I need to be surrounded by like-minded people and be lifted up because some of the things that we dig into, some of the stories that I look into, it's just heartbreaking and devastating and sad and heavy and it's too much. And when I spend so much time living in that space that when I'm not living in that space, I need to be surrounded by positivity and light and support and people don't. So it's crazy. The world has just gone mad. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful turnout this weekend. I hope that it is
it's gonna be big.
Good.
And I said this Sunday, by the police and the mayor doing that, it's only going to make more people want to go. You cannot deny Canadians their right to protest, let alone veterans.
I know, and it's you know, Neil said he had it all organized, they had a route and everything, and now you're telling them that they can't do that. You're asking for trouble now at this point.
It's going to be, well, you remember what happened. Wellington Street, we had 200 to 500 trucks down there. Then the police made their border.
Yeah.
And what did we do around that? We made a border. And then they made another border. And then we made a border. And what could have been 8 blocks turned into 30. And if
Right.
you want to do that, Jim Watson, by all means. We'll see you Friday, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, did I lose you? Did we lose Jen? I think we might have lost Jen, guys. Well, in the meantime here. Oh, there she's back. I see her in the guests.
So
there she is.
I got my son a new gamer mouse, and I literally, like, apparently it has I don't even know what button it is. It's some fancy button on the side of the mouse. And I was like, oh, what just happened? I don't even know.
You're telling me you got all the videos and everything. I was like, did we just lose Jen?
I don't even know what these buttons are, but apparently I can never touch them again because that just happened. So we have a video from Viva Fry left.
Okay.
I know he was in Ottawa with you on the ground. He does a ton of YouTube videos. He's a pretty cool guy.
He's actually a lawyer turned streamer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used to be a litigator.
That's awesome.
So, Bill 15. Bill 15. Canadians hopefully know what Bill 15 is. Bill 15 passed in Quebec maybe a week ago, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Excuse me if my dates aren't exactly correct. I was on the road when it happened. Bill 15. So, parental primacy. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that means. Parental primacy basically means your right to decide over your children. That is no longer existent in Quebec, in Canada. The state now has the primary authority over your children. And if you think it is a joke, there has already been 6 families that have had their children taken away from them purely because they are unvaccinated. Just this week. So, rather than reading this state-controlled media article, we'll just show the headline here. What does the headline say there again, Jen? Sorry. Bill 15 to prioritize interests of children over parents. So, obviously, they're trying to spin it in a positive way. Viva Frey, the reason why I selected Viva Frey's video to show, rather than me just explaining it, Viva Frey is, I'm not scared to admit, he's better at this than I am. I'm still learning as I go here. Viva Frey is very good at what he does. And I'm going to let Viva Frey explain to you why it's titled this way and why this is something we all need to be terrified of. And this is already ruining people's lives in Quebec. So, all you, Jen.
Well, it used to be father knows best, now
It's government knows best.
Viva Fry, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and this is Winnie the Westie, who is yearning for an afternoon nap. Quebec is back in the news again, and back in the news for the wrong reasons again. From CTV News, youth protection, Bill 15 to prioritize interests of children over parents. Now, I know what some of you out there are thinking. Viva, you're getting too black-pilled, you're getting too cynical. How can a law, the stated objective of which is to prioritize the interests of children, be a bad thing?
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Well, here is the potential conceptual problem. Who determines what is in the best interest of the child, if not the parent? Well, that would be the government and governmental entities. But before we get to the potential theoretical conceptual problems with this law and how it could be applied, a little more on the backstory. Quebec is answering a call to reform its youth protection services, a decision made all the more relevant following the killing of a 7-year-old girl from Granby in 2019. Bill 15, adopted unanimously Thursday in the National Assembly, promises to prioritize the interests of children over all other considerations, including the interests of parents. Before we go any further, let's just open a brief parenthesis to explain what happened in 2019. It was an awful story that really rocked all of Quebec, and here are some of the details. Also from CTV News, stepmother found guilty of second-degree murder in death of Granby girl. The decision came extremely quickly for a murder case. The jury took only 5 hours to reach a unanimous verdict. The girl died in April 2019 after her stepmother wrapped her in layers of adhesive tape to tie her down overnight, the court heard during the trial. The stepmother testified that she was trying to prevent the girl from escaping, also admitting that she tied her up from head to toe. The case rocked the province of Quebec before the details became public knowledge. It was in the wake of this tragedy that the Legault government set up the Laurent Commission to review the entire youth protection system in Quebec. Now, from what I understand, the reason why this story in particular rocked Quebec the way it did, above and beyond the absolutely horrific and tragic details, is that apparently the abuse within this family was known to the system failed to take the proper precautions to protect this child, and as a result the child was killed by her stepmother. So what does the government do when the existing system they already have in place with existing laws to protect children fails to protect children?
They enact more laws.
And back to the second paragraph of the original article we were reading, Bill 15, adopted unanimously Thursday in the National Assembly, promises to prioritize the interests of children over all other considerations, including the interests of parents. Now, I've got a couple of very big problems with the paragraph that we just read. Unanimity is not always a good thing. In the criminal justice system, it's a necessary thing in order to convict an individual, but in the legislative process, it's not a good sign to see unanimity because it means
No one's asking the hard questions.
And my other big problem with this paragraph and with the law itself is that it prioritizes the interests of the child over all other interests, including the interests of the parents. Well, that presupposes that the interests of the parents are not the best interests of the child. Call me cynical, but I don't think it was the absence of a law that prioritized the interests of the child over all other interests, including the interests of the parent, that resulted in the killing of that 7-year-old girl in Granby. In my understanding of the situation, we already had laws in place to prevent such horrible crimes from happening. We already had a system in place to protect children, and that system failed. But when the government fails, what do? They enact more laws. The new law will facilitate the placement of children into foster care, overhauling the principle of parental primacy, which favors keeping children within their biological families, even in cases of neglect and abuse. Let what we just read sink in. Is someone going to actually try to convince me that prior to the adoption of this Bill C-15, we lacked the laws that were required in order to take a child out of an abusive home and put them in foster care? I strongly suspect not, and reading this, it reminds me of something Cicero wisely said several thousand years ago: more laws, less justice, and it doesn't stop there. The bill, spearheaded by Social Services Minister Lionel Carmont, will also ease confidentiality rules, allowing personal information to be shared about children to be shared among authorities and caregivers. The article then goes on to explain the genesis, the raison d'etre of this amendment to the law, and it goes back to that story in Granby and explains how a lot of the information was known at the time, but apparently the system was unable to protect the 7-year-old child. Despite being known to Youth Protection Services, the 7-year-old died as a result of abuse in the home. Her 38-year-old stepmother was found guilty of second-degree murder and forcible confinement. The case led to the creation of the Laurent Commission, chaired by former Nurses Union FIQ President Régine Laurent, which took a hard look at the state of youth protection in Quebec. According to officials, Bill 15 is a direct response to many of the recommendations made in the report. Now that we understand the context and the backstory to the adoption of this law, let's go have a look at the law itself and explore some of the potential theoretical conceptual problems that may result from this law. National Assembly of Quebec, Bill 15, an act to amend the Youth Protection Act and other legislative provisions. Explanatory notes: this bill makes various amendments to the Youth Protection Act. First, the bill proposes various amendments to facilitate the interpretation and application of that act by the various actors involved and introduces a preamble. It reaffirms that the interest of the child is a primary consideration in the application of that act. And then a little bit of the preamble that is inserted into that act. The Youth Protection Act, Chapter P34.1, is amended by inserting the following after the title of the act. Quote, as Quebec has declared itself bound by the Convention of the Rights of the Child by Order in Council 1676-1991, dated 9 December 1991, as the interest of the child is a primary consideration of any decision made in the child's regard. Okay, that sounds fair enough in theory, but let's have a look at one article in particular how they're using the term interests of the child and what could, in theory, be ordered for that child if deemed by the court system to be in the interests of that child. Section 4 of the Act is replaced by the following. Every decision made under this Act must aim at ensuring continuity of care as well as the stability of the child's relationships and of living conditions appropriate to his needs and age. Therefore, keeping the child in his family environment should be favored, provided it is in the child's interest. If in the interest of the child it is not possible to keep the child in his family environment, the decision must seek to entrust the child to the persons most important to him, in particular the grandparents or other members of the extended family. If, in the interest of the child, it is not possible to entrust the child to such persons, the decision must then seek to entrust the child to a living environment most closely resembling a family environment. If, in the interest of the child, it is not possible to return the child to his family environment, the decision must, on a permanent basis, ensure continuity of care and the stability of his relationships and of living conditions appropriate to his needs and age. Are we starting to see some of the potential problems of the application of this provision of law as drafted? Now, I don't think I'm going out on much of a limb to suggest that there were already laws in place that would allow the removal of children from abusive households. They didn't need this amendment in particular. This amendment now throws in the concept of in the interest of the child over the interest of the parents, which in theory should be the interest of the child, to allow the system to literally take a child out of their house
If the system says it's in the best interest of the child.
and it's the system itself that gets to determine what's in the best interest of the child above and beyond the wishes of the parents. How might this provision of law be abused? It's very easy to imagine in two specific contexts. One involves the jab and the other involves transition therapy. This provision of law as drafted allows the system to determine what is in the best interest of the child in situations above and beyond abuse for which there are already measures in place. It allows the system to decide, and it empowers the system to potentially remove children from their families if the system says this is in the best interest of the child, even if the parents don't think it is. In other words, it's potentially the child and the system itself that gets to determine what's in the best interest of the children above and beyond the decision-making of the parent, and that for me is a very
Big problem.
When I first heard of this proposed amendment that the province of Quebec was basically coming in and saying the state gets to determine above and beyond the parents what is in the best interest of the child, I actually didn't believe it was for real, and then I found out it was for real, and I said if this ever gets passed, that is a line in the sand for me. Fast forward a year, the law has now been passed. It is now official in the province of Quebec. The government knows what is in the child's best interest.
Above and beyond the parents.
The government is obviously going to say that they are only going to use this law under exceptional circumstances in cases of clear-cut abuse. Yeah, until the government determines that certain acts qualify as abuse. Until the government decides that not giving your child the jab is a form of abuse, that not allowing them to go through hormone transition therapy is a form of abuse. You think this is theoretical?
And I tell you, it's coming.
It is coming, and this law is going to facilitate for it in the same way Jordan Peterson forewarned that Bill C-16 would result in compelled speech, and lo and behold, we now have at least a couple of cases where that turned out to be true. We will see, but that is the latest out of Quebec, and if you like my videos, you like my content, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, all of the support links are in the pinned comment. We've got some great merch. You can support Robert Barnes and I on Locals at
VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com.
All of my content is also on Rumble, where you'll find a neat little widget that will bring you directly to our Locals community if you're so inclined. But more important than anything, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone around you is doing well, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah!
So if you guys don't follow Viva Fry already, you should. He is a good follow. I always share the ones that I follow and I enjoy, where I get my information. He's, would you say, a former lawyer?
Yeah, he used to do litigation.
Awesome. So, what would you say to somebody who says, I can see the link between children wanting sex changes, but I can't see the link between children wanting vaccinations? I don't think that that's going to happen.
I don't know right now.
Okay.
This directly affects me if it comes into place in BC. I will not be. I'm already not being allowed to see my son based on somebody's decisions. But if this were to go into place in BC, I would never be allowed to see my son. So this is.
Yeah, so I know of one story here in the United States where mother and father are separated. They're no longer together, which is my situation. I am not with my son's father. We haven't been together since he was 1 year old.
You
We've
just
had,
take me off for a second.
yeah, we've had an agreement where we share custody and everything, and we both, he's never really had any severe medical conditions. But if there ever were any, we would have to come to a mutual agreement, and if not, then we would have to go to court. There was a story where there were two parents that were in a similar situation as myself. They had a child together. They were no longer in a relationship. And the child wanted to go through sexual surgery to have sex change. And the mother wanted the child to, and the father did not want the child to. And the mother took the father to court. And the court decided that it is in the child's best interest to go forward with the surgery, and that the father should not be allowed to see the child any longer. I had the same fears about vaccination when they started pushing it on kids, because my son's dad got vaccinated, and I didn't want to, and I didn't want my son to either. But I had a fear that when it came time for our son to get one, that his dad would want him to have one. And I played that scenario over and over in my head. Well, what would happen? Who would the court decide with? Who would the court go with? This is already happening. This isn't something that's coming. They're not warning us about things that aren't already taking place. This is already happening. I don't know how much. Oh, good, thumbs up. Because it's hard for me to talk about too. Like,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. You know, I have worked with kids for years. I have seen children that are products of the system. I am very fortunate where I have a great relationship with my son's father now at this point. My son is 13, and we've had a schedule that works for years. We finally have gotten to the point now, his dad and I, where we can talk like friends and have conversations, and but it wasn't like that for a long time, and I know it's not like that for a lot of co-parents. And unfortunately, co-parenting is the way that the world is these days, primarily. You know, we have a lot more unmarried, single co-parenting relationships than we have married people with children. That's just what our society has turned into. And when you have two separate households and two separate decision makers, it's really hard when one is very different from the other. Gail said, be extremely careful about who you marry. Yeah, well, also be extremely careful about who you have children with. Because, I mean, not that anybody foresaw this whole, pandemic happening, but I've joked about this many times, I tried the whole online dating thing. I gave up after like a day because I hated it. But even dating now, like, what do? Do you say, I literally, right in my profile, I say, no vax, pure bloods only. People think I'm talking about race, and they're like, how dare you? That is so rude. I'm like, it literally has emoji of a no sign and the vaccine. So if you can't figure out what that is, I don't want to talk to you anyway. But, like, it's changed everything. I remember having a conversation with you one night in Canada in the truck, and I was like, you better not be with anybody that's gotten that. I don't know what it's gonna do to you.
Oh yeah, that's kind of my son was a one night stand. I'm not scared to say that, but in my hopes of going there from the convoy, hitchhiking across the country to meet my son, because I can't fly. Yeah, basically one disagreement, and that was it. So, I mean, it's not even who you plan on having children with. Be careful who you're having fun with.
Yep, anything can happen. It feels like, I read a lot of stories like the airlines here in the U.S. I don't know about in Canada, but a lot of the major airline companies dropped the mask mandate. Most of the states now have dropped the mask mandate. So you have all these stories where it feels like we're taking a step forward, and then you have a story like this, and you feel like, nope, we're still in the same mess, still in the same fight.
Well, people say to me every day, "What are you still fighting for? The mandates are gone." And I'm just like, have a good day, sir. Peace. I love you.
I would just ask them, but are we free yet? Is it over? It's not over.
They are though. To them, they are. And I've come to realize that, and that's why I just say I'm glad you still have your freedoms.
Yep. Well, it should be interesting now if, you know what I would love, so just to bring things back full circle, if Elon Musk now on Twitter starts like censoring people from the other side, you know, anybody, like, so you get censored, you get blocked or banned if you say something that is against Biden. But if you say something that is against Trump, it's totally fine and it's fair, and you can do that all day, every day. So I would love it if they got a taste of their own medicine and they started getting banned and censored and blocked for sharing, for things that we have been getting banned and censored and blocked for years.
You know
since
what
the
one big
platforms have been
difference
up.
would be? I, for example, 2 weeks ago, I got banned on my Jeremy Gibson. And it was actually a pretty cool moment because it was the first time, because I have my backups, I'm prepared for this now.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up in the morning, I saw it. So just for anybody who didn't see, I shared a picture, a couple of my, I won't even call them best friends, my family in Lower Mainland BC. They're my brothers. They are Punjabi race, Canadian born. I shared a picture, 2 of them and 1 of me, and I said, "Oh, look at these evil white supremacists." And Facebook banned me. And because I had my backups, it was the first time in my life that I woke up in the morning, I saw it, and it's literally, okay, on to the next one. And I just signed into my next one. But I mean, if you want to start doing that to the other side, I guarantee they're not going to be laughing about it. They're going to be whining like little schoolgirls. It is, and that's where you're going to see the difference between the two sides here. Liberalism is what is killing this country. Daphne, I agree. Facebook is a joke. They're all a joke. Our countries are a joke right now. North America is an absolute joke to the world right now. And, I hope that people realize that sooner than later. Things that make you go,
I know. It's like rules for thee, but not for me, and we tend to, people that are of our mindset tend to rise above, but in Canada, you guys have been pushed to your limit, and you're standing up and you're fighting back, and I wonder what it'll take here in the United States. We had our convoy, and it didn't really get much attention. People watched the lives, but it didn't get near the attention that Ottawa got, and now we have a big one coming up this weekend. So you'll be back live with me tomorrow night.
Yep.
And then
I do want to touch on one thing before we shut her down here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing at West with our group out there, so we are the People's Freedom Movement. The reason we are the People's Freedom Movement, and right in our logo, I believe I sent that to you. Have it, Jen?
Yeah.
So as we look at this logo here, you'll see there's tractors, there's bikes, there's trucks, there's people. This is not about trucks. This is not about bikes. This is about our country. And I would like to say this is about our countries, because we care just as much about you guys down there, and I hope you guys feel the same. I know you do. But we are the People's Freedom Movement. We are spreading the message of Marcus Ray. Marcus Ray Talks on TikTok. That is the only platform he's allowed to speak on at the moment. We are going to take this country back within the month. We I'm the first one. There's a group coming behind me from BC to the East Coast. Rolling Thunder was an important thing to me, but it is very small on my priority list. We are going to take this country back. We have veterans. We have RCMP. Just say it, Canada.ca. You can sign up there. There are emails that go out almost daily with updates. There will be an email going out 24 hours before the event. We cannot give you a date of the event. We cannot give you a place of the event. I'm sure you can all figure out why. We are going to peacefully take this country back with men of uniform. Yes, it is in the States now, Gail. We are in talks with the States. I don't like to say we. I'm speaking on behalf of the People's Freedom Movement. I am not in talks with the States. The people who are in talks, their faces aren't public, for good reason. But that is why I say we. When I say we, I do not want to take credit for it because I am doing a very small job compared to what others are doing here. Unfortunately, the ones who are doing the big jobs cannot be public because we live in a dictatorship, and they would be this would be over before it gets started. But there's going to be a convoy behind me here. Probably middle of next week, they will be arriving here with me, and we are going to have posters, and we are going back west across this country, and we are going to be making a lot of stops, spreading the message. There's a lot of things that need to be said. There's a lot of things that people need to be made aware of. But I assure you, this will be the final stand. If this fails, I will be leaving this country. I will be gathering everybody that I care about and anybody who is willing to leave with me, and I will be out of here. If this fails, it will be a clear indication that we have no hope. So, if that's something you'd like to be a part of, I can give you information on that privately. And I encourage you to follow us along. My whole role here at Rolling Thunder is to reach out to these other freedom organizers and get everybody on the same page. As everybody knows, the division that's been created here by our governments, they've divided us in two directions here, but we also have another form of division that we're struggling with at the moment. And that is, we have all these different movements, and everybody's doing a great job. When I say this, I don't want it to come out the wrong way. I appreciate everything everybody's doing. What I'm doing is no better than what anybody else is doing. But what is in the work?
Oh, you froze. I'll give it a second here and hope that you come back on. Oh, somebody just made a comment that I wanted to bring up. Are you back?
We're back.
You froze.
I did. I stopped talking.
No, I mean your picture froze.
No, I know, but as soon as I saw that, I stopped talking.
Oh.
I don't know where you lost me at.
I don't know. You were saying about division because there's different groups.
Yeah, so what my goal here is in Rolling Thunder, other than to obviously record and get footage and get the message out, but I have plans to seek out different organizers here because there's a lot of different groups in Canada right now. And we're trying to get everybody on the same page because we are dealing with a 0.001% of people. We're not dealing with even a 1%. We are dealing with a 0.001% of people. If we stand up together, this all ends. Boom. We are the puppets in their game. And if they don't have a game, it's game over. And that is my goal for anybody watching and listening. If you are an organizer and you're going to be in Ottawa this weekend, I don't care what your group is. If you're fighting for freedom, I want to talk to you. and I have a message for you, and I have people who I need you to speak with that I cannot say their names. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my message here. We are the People's Freedom Movement, and we will take this country back within a month. We will. We're not fucking around anymore. We are waving white flags at this event, and only white flags. The reason for that being, if we are all under white flags and we are walked on, it is an international war crime. So if they are willing to walk on police and veterans under a form of parley, then the world needs to see that. And there's going to be one difference between when it happened now, when it happens then, and when it happened in Ottawa. We will hold our ground. We are not going to be walked on again.
So I know you're going to be live with me tomorrow night, and then give everybody like an idea of when they need to be watching this weekend, because I know everybody watching now is going to want to watch. We'll do some promoting to make sure we have more eyes on things. But I know I'm like thinking now in my head, okay, Mikey has a game Saturday. So when am I going to be available and around? Because I'm going to want to just park it and be watching you all weekend.
I hope that your schedule does accommodate that. I'd love to have you. I call you my producer. But then I also explain to people I don't think she likes when I call her that because she doesn't get paid to be my producer.
It's just the term implies that I know what I'm doing, and I really don't. I just like click a couple buttons and.
You do know what you're doing. You sell yourself short.
Thanks.
I've got you here. You've got yourself here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm afraid of. Is that when you're pushing me off to other people, it's like, I don't know. But no. What do you? You're just going to be going like beginning to end. It starts. You're starting Friday night.
I'm gonna try to follow that schedule.
Okay.
So that we have there. So Friday we're gonna be leaving here. We're about 6 hours north of Ottawa here. We're going to be leaving here Friday, probably 7 in the morning, check into the hotel. That's another message I want to just put out there because it's going to lead up to the thing I don't want to do, which you already know probably what that is. So we have a hotel 1 block from Parliament Hill at I'm not going to say where because that's the world we live in. But if you would like to know where that is, we have a hotel. Come in here for a second, you beautiful bastard.
Yay, yeah, do it.
Hey, there he is. There's Jesse.
Everybody.
Hey, Jesse.
Give you one of these.
Give me one of these?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. There we go.
So adorable.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Great. Great.
Good.
You're back. You came to visit?
I know. Reunited at last.
Yeah. You
So you
brought
guys-
my niece back.
You guys are going to do some fun freedom things this weekend.
Look, there's one already.
Yeah.
Hi, Jesse.
Yeah.
For a
Daphne?
week after I left Jesse,
We're gonna
people were
rock
like,
down there.
when do I get to see Jesse next?
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Carla, so who is this? So,
Tell
I
the
was in-
story of how you guys met, because it is amazing. So when Jeremy was in Ottawa, things just happened for him, like magically fell into place for him. So tell the story of how you guys met.
So, day 2, I met Gerjant and his brothers, who are now basically family in the Lower Mainland, which I will be going back to live with after we're done here. And then on day 8, 9, Gerjant said, "Hey, man, we gotta leave." And I had left home just recently, finding out that I had a son in BC. I can't travel because I'm unvaccinated. Blah 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 blah. Long story short, so I met Gerjant on day 2 or 3, and he said, "I'll take you to see your son." And I was like, "Okay," and we hit it right off. We became brothers right away. On day 8, 9, Gerjant was like, "Hey man, we got families. We got to get out of here. We're leaving tomorrow." And he was pretty emotional when he said it. And I basically said to Gerjant, I can't leave here. My job's not done yet. And the following day, I was moving from a hotel to an Airbnb. Obviously, the downtown was blocked off. We didn't have taxis. I called an Uber. They accepted it, but then they canceled while I was waiting for it. So while I was waiting for it, I set my bags down beside this Ford F-350, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. And then
Corner of Kenton, Albert.
Kenton, Albert.
Kenton, Albert.
And
You were on the phone with me, and you were like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We need to call an Uber, and then you were like, hold on a minute, wait, let me call you right back. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
yeah,
So
then,
at this time, I walked in my truck, and my truck's a diesel, and it stinks when it's cold. So I just started up my truck, walked around, and saw these bags by my exhaust, and saw a guy standing there on his phone, and say, "Hey, buddy, do what you want to do, but your clothes gonna stink when you go to put them on." Like, fuck. So I gave him a hand to move his bags, and then continue on.
yeah, so and then the Uber canceled, like, boom,
Yeah.
right away. And
3 days, no shower, no shit,
yeah.
sleeping in an F-350 at 30 below.
Yep.
That's what this guy was
So
doing.
Jesse was
That's
like,
what I
you got to
love.
shower, and you were like, can you give me a ride? And
yeah, he
the
had
match made in
wheels.
Oh,
heaven.
sure, it was.
He had
it was
wheels. I
actually
had
like,
a roof.
You need a ride.
Yep.
Like,
And,
because he was desperate.
Now
He said,
we're
"Yeah."
best friends for
And
life.
what were you doing? And we kind of you got to know what I was doing after that. He said, fuck, I think I got 2 beds.
Yeah, because you
Fuck, I need-
guys met that day, and then you were pretty much together for the rest of
Yeah.
Ottawa,
Right.
Well, it
and
worked
even
out 'cause
after Ottawa.
Well, it worked out because, like I said, other than Kyle, who was my only other teammate at the time, well, we were all teammates, but
Yeah.
my only close teammate at the time, Grajan and them had just left that day, and there's this guy.
Yep.
Just,
I
I
was
always
just parked
say
there.
a little to the left, and I've said that a lot in the last 3 months because
If his bags wouldn't have been right tight against my exhaust and would have been about 3-4 feet away to the sides, I would have seen the bags. I would have just kept walking. There's no
Right.
reason for me to talk to a guy on his phone, right? He's not paying
Right.
attention to me. He's doing, I don't know, he's in a little, like, holy fuck, what am I going to do now kind of situation, right?
Yeah. There's just some guy on his
I'm in
phone.
Ottawa on a mission.
Yeah.
Gotta go. I'm cold, starting up my truck. And, yeah.
just happened to
Yeah.
work. And then as I went to BC,
Oh, hang on. And then I found out he was a chef after we got the room. At least 3 days eating
We-
Tim Hortons, sleeping in a 30 below in an F-350, and not have him go for a shit. And I hook up with a chef that's got 2 bedrooms.
yeah, we
Fuck.
ate steaks at midnight that night.
Yeah, it was great. He went shopping. He was cooking. I was eating.
And then Karen, Jesse's niece, was in Vancouver Island where my son was, and
She got to meet him through all the stuff that's happening in Ottawa, seeing us together. So
yeah, I went to meet her, and then I helped her drive back across the country, and now she's reunited with her family.
she's back here, and the 3 of us are heading in
Amazing.
Ottawa.
It's crazy.
That
but
is
yeah,
crazy.
We're all leaving Friday morning for Ottawa. Jesse does lives as well, nonstop. We're usually side by side until we get lost and do our own thing, and then we find each other on each other's lives because we lose each other.
Yeah, when I lost him was first, I checked on his live and said, okay, what's he looking at? He's playing.
I know. I usually have one of you guys on the tablet and one on the phone, and I'm like, okay, he's looking for you. All right, this one is on the street. I'm like, trying to follow. But
I'm learning a little bit more how to do these things, so we'll see if we'll be able to be both on the same page one day at each end of different ends.
yeah,
So,
we'll have to.
Maybe one at the front of the line, one at the back of the line, and changing spots. Who knows?
On that note, too, we're both new to TikTok. I think we're both sitting around 500 followers. We're trying to get to that 1,000 so we can go
Yes.
live as a backup this weekend. So anybody who's on TikTok, Chef Jeremy Gibson, what's yours?
Jesse Siebert 951. When you click on it, there'll be a very short video, and it's me in my truck, so you know that it's me. So it's no other asshole trying to pretend it's me. And yeah,
Yeah,
let's
well,
go.
excuse
Sorry
me.
for my language. If I got any young kids out there, sorry, but you get it the way it is.
Yeah, so we'll make sure to put that in the
Beep.
comments there. But yeah, if anybody can help us out on TikTok, that'd be great. And like I said, the People's Freedom Movement, if you're an organizer, you're going to be in Ottawa this weekend, I want to talk to you. And I have some people you want to talk to. I promise
Yep.
you that.
Make sure that you guys, if you know anybody, share this into groups, tag people if you know anybody, even if you think that they might know somebody, tag them. Help us get this message out. Tyrone said, finding our true people in this movement is one of the best things to happen so far. Our soul family, yo. You have no idea, like, it's amazing to me. You know, I was just, I think Friday's show, I was talking about how Christian and I met and just how we got connected, and then through him I met Sam, and how Sam is like my best friend now. I talk to her every day, and then I was connected to you, and you and Kyle just changed my whole life, and now like I'm doing this show and I've met all
Kyle's
these amazing
gonna be there
people.
too. Kyle's gonna be there. He's gonna meet
I'm
us Friday.
so jealous.
He's got.
I hate it.
He's going on his motorcycle, and he's got a train horn on his motorcycle.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
So
I'm gonna have to.
no matter what happens this weekend, it will definitely be a reunion of what we did 2 months ago.
If anybody's watching there that has not been to Ottawa and is really sorry to miss it, I strongly believe that feeling will be there on Saturday and Friday night. So if you really have heard people have say, if you were in Ottawa, I'm sorry. If you weren't, you're not going to get this. But when somebody says, yeah, I was there, it because they understand, and I'm sorry that you weren't there if you weren't there. But if you wanted to be there, you be there on Saturday, because there's always like, I don't understand. You won't understand. You never will understand if you're there, and you won't. I'm sorry, you won't. Not a chance. You won't. It's like if you never had a kid and somebody's telling you how it feels to have a kid.
Yeah.
Right? You'll never fucking understand the day you have that
Yep.
kid. It doesn't matter.
We've had that conversation before. The three of us.
And the day you have that kid is going to be, holy fuck, I understand. When you
Yep.
come to Ottawa on Saturday, and if you're not sure, you're going to understand.
So long story short, let's all go make some freedom babies this weekend
Yeah. In Ottawa.
in Ottawa together.
I would do anything to be there. Like, it hurts.
I would do anything to have you there.
It hurts
If
me.
anybody deserves to be there, it is you, because you went through sleepless nights to ensure that I could do my job there.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to have to do that again this week.
Guys, by the way, anybody who's watching, like, Jeremy doesn't ask things. What he does is he gets me excited, so then he knows I won't say no. So he didn't tell me about any of this weekend. He was just like, here's a couple of pictures, here's a couple of videos. Oh, by the way. I'll just tell her live. I'll tell her live.
Next 5 days.
Yeah, because hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing, because you are mine and I need you.
More epic. This is bigger. This for real is bigger.
Vroom,
Remember,
motherfucker.
Bikers are there. They're not going to fuck with the bikers. You know you're going to be safe. Sorry for the people watching it. If you're a little bit chicken, don't be fucking chicken. The bikers are your friends. They're your fucking friends. Okay? There's nowhere in the world you can't go if the bikers got your back. There's nowhere you can't go. All right? I don't care. Go to Russia with the bikers. I'm telling you, Putin's shaking your fucking head. Right? Go to Ukraine. They're gonna say, "Come on, buddy, can you fucking help us?" Guaranteed. There's not a chance. Not a chance. The people will love you, not the government. Right? The people will love you and they'll back you up. And those bikers, I'm telling you, I just can't fucking wait.
So
Can't wait.
just before we end this, I got to give a shout out. So this is Team Freedom.
I'm going to put you on. There you go.
Team Freedom. So there's a lot of people that know. I know Trish on here knows. Trish Lima, you guys are awesome. Trish is down. She's involved with our People's Freedom Movement, Delta Village. So we created a village. Another thing, I don't like saying we because I was more so reporting on it than putting in the legwork. There's a lot of people who invested a lot of money and work and time into this village. So we created a village in the lower mainland of BC. There's families living there permanently. They've sold everything they have, and they have chosen to live there. We have goats, chickens, bees. We have tons of beehives. It's growing by the day. That's what 13 to 15 people did. And now every weekend there's a gathering there of 100 to 300 people. It is absolutely beautiful. And so just think of what we can accomplish if we all come together. So Team Freedom, not only did we build a village, we created a business. We have our own cryptocurrency. That's what this is, our coin. We have our own cryptocurrency. It's called Freedom Coin. There's a website, weshallbefree.com or .ca. I should know that. I apologize that I don't. But I will. Thank you, Jen. She's on it. So weshallbefree.ca. 3% of every coin purchase goes straight to the Freedom Convoy. It doesn't take away from your coin, but 3% of every coin purchase goes straight to our movement, goes straight to our hotels, goes straight to our food, you name it. This is expensive. Just last month in BC, we spent $150,000 on fuel. Just last month. But in doing that, we stopped at probably 100 different places, some of them more than once, but 100 different stops. You're talking 200 to 300 people per stop. The awareness is growing by the day. And this Freedom Coin is going to take off. So for anybody who is in the crypto world, check it out. weshallbefree.ca. This is going to be something that forms into a different business as well. The website can help you understand that further. And that's goes back to what I wanted to say there before Jesse came in. So we have a hotel downtown Ottawa. I'm not going to say where it is publicly, but we will be doing the same thing we did. If somebody needs a shower, if somebody needs a bathroom, if somebody needs to warm up for a few minutes, get a hold of me. Right, Jesse?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Guaranteed.
there's a reason we got a hotel, and that's so that we can help others. We know that everybody isn't in that position. I'm not in that position. I spent 3/4 of my last money chipping in on this hotel. But if anybody needs warmth, if anybody needs a shower, if any female or male, I guess, everybody's not willing to take a piss outside. No, not everybody grew up in the country like I did, but or Jesse. But if you need a bathroom, if you need to warm up, send me a message. That's why we have a room. We want to help as many people as we can while we're there. If you need somewhere to sleep, we will get extra blankets. We'll put you on the floor. That's why we have a room. And Jesse,
I just got to
agrees.
throw one thing in here, though. If you're a guy and you got to piss and you make me walk back to the apartment, I will do it for you. I'm going to be fucking pissed off at you because you got no balls. You must be castrated. There's a fucking corner somewhere there you can piss. If a girl needs to piss, you need to shit, I will definitely take their weight. But if you got to piss, please don't ask me because I'll take you there and I'll be fucking pissed.
But yeah, so
I'm being honest.
if anybody needs help this weekend, that's what we're there for. We're there to unite. We're there to be there for one another. Leading up to that, if anybody's able to help with this journey, I greatly appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say about that because I don't like talking about that. But the help is needed, and it is greatly appreciated. I am on day 88 since leaving home. And in saying that, I am not sad one bit. I have made the best home I ever had in my life. And although I may not know where it is, I know where they are. And
there'll be
they
family
are
nearby.
all around me.
You know, there'll be family nearby. Wherever you go.
Even if we lose this battle, what we have done with the unifying of people is probably the most beautiful thing I will ever experience in my life. So I thank all of you for that.
So Denise said I looked lost. I'm sorry. I forgot
saw
I was
that.
on, and I was looking for the website, so I just put it on the banner. It's we shall, the letter B, not B-E, the letter B, free.com. That is the website for the Bitcoin. I want a sweatshirt. Those are
I'll
awesome.
get you one. I'll get you one. And we have new ones coming as well with a new
okay.
different logo. It's even
Sweet.
more badass.
Awesome.
Badass.
Jesse
It's,
cracks me
for
up.
anybody who didn't see, it's the Phoenix breaking the chains.
Yeah.
Rising
they are-
from the ashes.
The website is on the screen. You can also find them on Telegram. I will put the link up right now on the screen for anybody who's on Telegram. Oh. Too many banners. Add. There we go. We Shall Be Free on Telegram. You can join their group. They make announcements and everything in there for things that are going on. I just saw they had like a Q&A, ask anything, so you can learn about the Bitcoin if you're not too into it. You don't know too much like it, like me, who has been interested in getting into Bitcoin but really doesn't know the first place to start. There seems to be a lot of information in that group.
And sorry to cut you off quick, Jen, but just I wanted to touch on that. The guy who is running it, this is his life. This is what he does. There's 11 of us. He is managing our wallets because we don't even know what this shit means. So that is another thing too. If you don't know anything about this, but you still want to be a part of it, we have people that can help you learn about all of it. It's not just we want you to buy it and you're lost. We are willing to help you along the way. We have experts who live off it, who have not worked in a long time. They are very good at what they do with this stuff, and they are like we're up. We're not losing money.
Yeah, I definitely want to get.
The only thing with it right now is we've chosen to we've staked our investment in order. So we've chosen a 60-day stake, so I can't pull out. We've all staked our money for 60 days for the benefit of the coin. So if you do want to buy in, now is the time to buy in because nobody's pulling out, and I promise you that.
Yeah, I definitely want in, and I know if anybody's watching and you guys are interested, even just to get the information, just send me a message, send Jeremy a message, let us know that you're interested, and it never hurts to have an additional stream of income. So get some information on it, see if it works for you, and let me know, let Jeremy know if you're interested, and we'll definitely get you that information. I know I'm interested. It's definitely worth looking into and learning about.
It is decentralized as well. It's not a normal Bitcoin. It's decentralized, so the government cannot do anything about it. Not like they did in Ottawa when they tried to take over crypto. This is a decentralized. It's a decentralized donation platform. We have worked through the loopholes to ensure that it is safe.
Awesome. Thank you. So Jeremy and I will be back live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. And then the weekend starts Friday morning. So
I can't wait.
I know you're so excited. So I'm sure we'll just do like a reiteration of everything that is happening this weekend, just to remind everybody. We'll put up those flyers again so everybody has the schedule in case anybody is going. Sorry, I just want to pull up. Denise said, I was told you make money on coin. I didn't understand all that because I was never into stocks. I'm not into stocks either. I don't know much about it, so it might not be for me. It might not be for you, but I know that I'm at least going to get the information and get educated so I can make an informed decision. If it's not for me, it's not for me. I invest in precious metals. I'm happy doing that. I have my silver. So I might stick with that, or this might make sense to me, and I might, decide to go with this too. I'm not sure. I need to know before I make a decision. It's hard for me to just say, okay, here's my money and turn it over to somebody else. I need the info, so... But I'm in pain.
You've done really well. We're on 218 here.
I know. I'm like, oh, this is hard. So I will see all of you guys tomorrow night. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining me this evening.
Thank you.
It was great hanging out with you. Absolutely. My pleasure.
I missed you.
Oh, thanks.
We're going to see lots of each other this week.
Oh, it'll be like the old times. It feels like
those old times.
It feels like...
Doesn't it?
Forever, like a lifetime ago.
Doesn't it feel like it already though? Now that we're talking about it,
a little bit. When Jesse was talking about the stories, all the memories coming because it's so hard for me because it felt like I was there, but I wasn't there.
You were there.
So I mean, kind of in my soul, my heart was there.
You're there in my heart, and you'll be there again Friday in my heart.
But yeah, no, it's. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm a little nervous. I won't lie because. especially after hearing what Neil said today about how you guys, well, they had a plan and then the plan kind of dissolved. I'm curious to see how things work out, what happens, but I will be watching. I will be here.
I would be lying if I said I didn't hope it was a 2.0.
Yeah.
I will be surprised if we leave there Monday. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, we will see what happens. I don't know if I'm prepared. I don't know if I can do another one, but I don't know. All right. I love all you guys. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me. I'm so grateful. I will end the night with our song, and we will see you guys tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. I love you.
Peace, truth, power.
Alive and well, I'm wide awake. Won't take your brand, I'm not your slave. You serve your God, Lord of the flies. I pity you and you mean mine. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Your bloody mouth unsatisfied. God sees the trap you set for me. He'll not be mocked, I will be free. We will not bend. We will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. Your fear will not make me behave. I won't march in your masked parade. Your hollow threats won't shut me up. I won't bow down, enough's enough. You say you'll give us what we need, as if you own the air we breathe. Stand up 100 million strong. Thought we'd lie down, well you thought wrong. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. Oh, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep going, keep on going. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus closer than my breath. Just keep going, keep on going. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down,